So, I want to talk to people about something. So, I'm going to start to talk a little more about bioenergetics. I've been talking about it in the past. I've been talking about it time to time. I want to start trying to kind of putting a playlist together. I'm going to actually do a little more research on this, but I'm going to just go ahead and leave y'all with something today that I want you to start doing and really training with as I start to bring this series in. So hopefully if you run into this video first, before I hit the series, perfect. Because I want to provide a lot of information, and I'm going to try and, like I said, accumulate as much knowledge as I can, try and really come with some facts here, not just talk, like the intuitive talking helps, and talking from experience is definitely going to be a big one here. But I also want to just provide you also with some of the book stuff, because there's things there that I probably don't know that I might want to bring to the table, or some things that might be new that I might want to try and bring to the table. So, anyways, so I'm going to be bringing on some more bioenergetic talks about this, not just the whole freak out things, but also, the general whole study and science of bioenergetics. Because I'm really a huge advocate of what it does. I'm really a huge advocate of movement being one of your biggest healers, and just everything that's offering. So, what I want you to do for the next few days or so, if this is something that is resourceful to you, start noticing two things. Start noticing the patterns and start noticing the way your body responds in certain emotional states. So, simple. You notice the way, start on surface levels and then get even deeper and deeper. You notice an anxiety, you get a lot of butterflies in your stomach, right? You get anxious. Or that when you start getting really angry, like for me, when I get angry, my arms start to feel really hot, right? Stuff like that. Your neck gets tense. And then you get even deeper, and then you start to notice things that you didn't notice yourself. You start to notice maybe your shoulders start to hike up when you're maybe when you're really angry. So you're here normally, and then you start to hike up here when you're angry. Your head starts to jut forward. Start noticing how your body responds. And then even the internal feeling as well, like I said, how does your body respond? Does it feel like your arms just want to lose control? Are you getting anxious? Are you shaking? How does your body feel in general? Is it starting to feel sick? Is it starting to feel really charged? Does it feel ready to explode? Does it feel depressed? In what states, right? Notice these things going on. And then, of course, also, so that's one. Really just getting body awareness. And then, of course, noticing your thoughts as well. This is a big one. Notice the thoughts that surface, right? So notice what thoughts it is that just get thrown out there. Whether it's you beating in somebody's window with a bat. Don't actually do that. But I'm just saying, whatever, because some people are really suppressed, and that's when hysterical thoughts come to play. So, whether it's you just beating in your pillow, whether it's you just letting out screams, whether it's you screaming at your girlfriend, whatever thoughts come to mind, just notice whatever it is that spontaneously pops up. Maybe it's you crying. Maybe it's even as far as, we're not going to get into that. But notice what comes to mind and just be brutally honest with what comes up. Don't fight it. Don't try and rationalize it. Don't do anything. Just let it happen. Accept what it is. And then just notice it. You don't have to do anything with it. But if one thought particularly really starts to vibrate, then you really need to start paying attention to that specific thought and see what message it's trying to give you. But that's a different video. So, body awareness, be aware of the responses that your body gives and your mind starts to give. Notice the thoughts and the way your body feels in conjunction to specific emotions. Number 2, start noticing your triggers. And what I mean is start noticing in what situations or in what circumstances or grounds or what little things, what big things evoke emotion. For examthis used to be a really big one for me. This even still happens sometimes. Whenever I see a really big guy who kind of walks around with that power, that authority, I start to get a little anxious sometimes. It happens. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's not as bad as it used to be, but like, you notice that, right? I noticed that that's a trigger for me. As soon as that happens, anxiety rises in my body sometimes, right? Another thing might be, like, for example, this is a recent one. If I start to see 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokees specifically, right? Around the 2001 to 2003 era, as soon as I look, I like, they come past, and then I click and I look. And then it just, like, it brings me to a almost sort of a freeze, but also an angry state. You know, because, like, I kind of stop, and I'm, like, making sure, oh, it's not that motherfucker, is it? You know? And, you know, so, and I notice the thoughts that come up, and I notice what energy starts to arise within me, right? You know, and it could be really as simple as a specific number, or even as big as you walking into a crowd and everyone's like, I don't know, you walk into a place, there's a lot of fucking people, and you start to feel something, right? Noticing emotions like that, or even like big things that, yeah, I mean, just noticing your triggers. Notice what gets you firing off, right? So do those two things throughout the week. Start to put them down on lists. Start to list down the body awareness for each emotion, and then start to list down your triggers and what emotions trigger under specific circumstances and stuff like that. Even like songs might, you know, like, you all of a sudden you listen to Alicia Cara comes on, and then you start fucking crying out of nowhere, right? Stuff like that. So notice it. Get aware of those things, because that's really going to help you, especially through this bioenergetic journey, if you decide to take it. That's all I got for you. Talk to you next time. Bless up.